everyone. This is Sincere of Teacher Sincere's channel, and welcome. So it's been a while, been a month, and I'm finally back. I had been working on trying to finish up a couple of books, and so last night I succeeded. I've had a lot on my plate, as they say, okay? So I finally finished one last night. I finished up Virginia Woolf's book, Orlando. Here it is. And this is my copy. I've had it for quite some time. I got Orlando. There used to see it a lot. I guess they're still around. I haven't checked, but on Sundays when I was younger, in the Sunday paper, the parade section, as they called it, like a little Sunday magazine that would come with the newspaper, they would have a section in there a lot of times where they have book clubs. And the one that was really popular back probably in the 90s, early 2000s was Quality Paperback Book Club. And how you could send in the little, cut out the little paper with the scissors. There was no internet back then. Cut it out and then mail in your choices, okay? And they would get you could get, I think, the first 5 or 6 books for $1 each. $1 each. So I got this one actually like $1, and I did that about 3 times, okay? What I liked about Quality Paperback Book Club, you were not obligated to continue getting the books even after you got the first 5 or 6 for $1 a piece. So I really like that. So I was able to get a few books, a number of books, some good choices that I had and it was fun. I always look forward to the Quality Paperback Book Club, that they have anything I was interested in actually ordering. So yeah, so this is Orlando, and the author is Virginia Woolf. And Virginia Woolf was a 20th century modernist writer. She was born in England, and the modernist writers, they had their particular style that was sort of unique and different. You had people like Proust, and there were others that were all modernists, and their styles were different. And in the case of and also too about modernist writers, there had been some similarities before some earlier writers, but these were more, they sort of had their own. This is sort of more of a movement of the early 20th century. So in the case of Virginia Woolf, her style was stream of consciousness. And if you don't know, stream of consciousness is a style where the author tries to capture the internal thoughts, the internal world of the character. So if you read Orlando, you will notice that there's not a lot of dialogue. There's some, but not a lot, okay? Now, Orlando was based on the life and the history of Virginia Woolf's friend and lover, Vita Sackville West. I think I got it right, okay? And it's a fantasy. It's like a historical fantasy. So what drew me to it was not because it was a feminist classic or anything like that, okay? Or lesbian classic or whatever you want to call it. I was not drawn to it for that reason, okay? The reason why I was drawn to the book was because it was like, oh, history. I love history. I'm not big on fantasy. I don't read a lot of fantasy works. Fantasy genre is quite popular here in the United States, but I haven't read very much. I would like to. I'd like to read some Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and stuff like that, but I'm not big. I'm not a big fantasy person. The book is like a historical fantasy, and it starts in the probably in the 1500s during the Elizabethan time. So it's basically 1500s during Queen Elizabeth's first time in England, and I think I mentioned that Virginia Woolf herself was English, and so in the book it starts out, Orlando is a handsome young man, dashing young man, but sort of effeminate looking, okay? And he becomes a favorite of Queen Elizabeth I. And the book goes over 3 centuries from somewhere in the 1500s up into the early 1920s, okay? And during that time, Orlando transforms from a young man to a woman, okay? And so Orlando's dream throughout the novel is to is to find love, okay, and then also to become a great poet, okay, a great literary figure. And Orlando lives in this big mansion alone, and you just go through the centuries. And the language is on the poetic side. Like I said, there's not much dialogue, and Orlando encounters some literary figures of the time, like in the 1600s, 1700s. So I liked the book. I was really torn. And I tried to decide, should I give it 4 stars, or I wasn't going to give it 5. Okay. I liked it, but I wasn't that excited. I wasn't that ecstatic about it. So I was torn between 3 stars or 4 stars. So I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. Now, 3 stars on Goodreads is not awful. It's not terrible. It's actually liked. Okay. I liked it. And I think too, what happened too, I had been reading the book for so long, just, going weeks and weeks and weeks and not reading it, and then picking it back up when I had time and felt like it. I think I got kind of tired, and near the end it got sort of repetitious for me, so I was kind of worn out, so I ended up giving it 3 stars. But I did like it. I recommend it if you like stream of consciousness, if you like fantasy, if you like historical novels, if you like innovative writing, that unique like writing, unique type of style that you don't normally read, check out Orlando. Okay. Now this is my quotes journal. Okay, this is not my journal where I write down my thoughts, but this is my quotes journal. And I'm going to read a couple of quotes that I wrote. I wrote 3 or 4 quotes, or maybe 4 or 5, okay, that I wrote that I got from Orlando. And so I should have marked, let me look through here very quickly, because the clock is ticking. Let's see, where is it? I wrote down some quotes here. And I should have put a marker in it. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, here's the first one. Okay, these are some quotes I read from Orlando. I like a lot, and I'm going to read these. Okay, it was a ghastly sepulchre. A sepulchre is a tomb, dug deep beneath the foundations of the house, as if the first lord of the family, who had come from France with the Conqueror, that was William the Conqueror, had wished to testify how all pomp is built upon corruption. Okay. Then it seemed to him that life was not worth living anymore. Forgetting the bones of his ancestors and how life is founded on a grave, he stood there shaken with sobs, all for the desire of a woman in Russian trousers with slanting eyes, a pouting mouth, and pearls about her neck. She had gone. She had left him. He was never to see her again, and so he sobbed. Okay, and then there's a couple of more that I'm going to read rather. Let's see, go through here. There's St. Augustine. Okay, and let's see, for me a few more. Okay. All right, so I'm a little bit scattered here, okay? All right, here's a couple more that I wrote. And so, in a short time, much bad blood was bred between them. Indeed, such differences of opinion are enough to cause bloodshed and revolution. Towns have been sacked for less, and 1,000,000 martyrs have suffered at the stake rather than yield an inch upon any of the points here debated. No passion is stronger in the breast of man than the desire to make others believe as he believes. Nothing is so cuts at the root of his happiness and fills him with rage as the sense that another rates low what he prizes high. Okay, and the last one I wrote that I liked. It is not love of truth, but desire to prevail that sets quarter against quarter and makes parish desire the downfall of parish. Parish here is like a, church area, like Catholic, the little area, little church village. Each seeks peace of mind and subserviency rather than the triumph of truth and the exaltation of virtue. Okay, so the book has some little philosophical little passages in it, and I did like it. Okay, but I only gave it 3 stars. What I kept thinking about when reading Orlando were 2 books that I've read in the past that were very poetic and that I highly recommend. And I'm going to put the link in the description from Goodreads, and you can check them out if you want to read these. But these were 2 highly poetic novels. The first one that Orlando reminded me of, but it was set on the island of Guadalupe, or Guadeloupe in the Caribbean, and the characters were all black people. It's called The Bridge of Beyond. It's by Simone Schwartz-Bart, who is a French writer of Guadeloupean parentage, rather, not ancestry, but parentage. Okay. I really love The Bridge of the Beyond. So if you are, if you like what we call black literature or whatever, or Caribbean literature, I highly recommend this book. Also, the next book, The Bridges of Constantine, is another one. It's by the Algerian writer Alam Mostik Hanimi. Okay, they both have difficult names, so that's why I had to write them down. The Bridges of Constantine, I think you would really like it if you like poetic type style novels, if you love like a love story. This was unique, okay? When I first started reading it, I had to get used to the language of it, but when I got into it, I really liked it. In The Bridges of Constantine, there are references to the Algerian War of Independence that went on throughout the 1950s up until, I think, a few days. It ended like a few days before I was born in 1962. So Alam Mostek Hanimi is a very popular writer in the Arab world, and so yeah, I recommend these two books: The Bridge of Beyond and The Bridges of Constantine, both of them, because they if you like poetic style novels, Orlando sort of reminded me of these, okay, because the language was interesting, different, not just, just a normal novel where you just read through and it's just narrative, this straight narrative. I really like that, okay? So I'm going to have to end here because I'm sort of running out of time, but so I want to also thank my new subscribers. I've garnered a few since I was last on here, so thank you. My channel is a booktube channel now. I do recommend that you go back and look at some of my other videos that are, on different historical or literary topics. But I want to, because of time and, energy, I'm just going to mostly try to keep my book YouTube, just a booktube channel. Okay, booktube. It's easier for me than to try to put together and do a lot of editing with all the other stuff. And I'm a book lover. I'm a bibliophile. So I can't go wrong, right? Okay. But anyway, I might do a few things occasionally, a little bit off, from, books. I'm thinking about putting together something dealing with some work by one of my relatives. My book is a book. My channel, Teacher Sincere's channel, is a booktube channel. So, and I tend to read books that, I don't read really bestsellers. I read stuff that nobody else might be reading. Like right now, I'm reading a book called Memoirs of a Babylonian Princess. Not a well-known book. So on my channel, I want to take on stuff that's, well-known classics, but also stuff that's not very well-known. And I also want to start doing some nonfiction as well. So anyway, so welcome if you're new, and also thank you if you viewed this video. Okay, so I'm going to end here. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. So this is Sincere. Until next time.